It's known as the third rail of politics, Social Security reform. But 3 Republican senators are taking that problem on head-on and trying to curb entitlement spending before it is too late. Joining us right now with a preview of their plan before they announce it at 11 o'clock today, Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul, South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, and Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee. Welcome to all three. First off, Senator Paul, you've been a bold guy in your entire career. What are you stepping up to announce today in terms of reforming Social Security?
Well, the thing is Social Security for the first time is now spending more or paying out more than comes in, and it's broken. We've got to fix the system. So far, the White House has not shown any leadership, so we've gotten together and we're going to fix Social Security without raising any taxes.
But you are raising the age, correct, Senator Graham?
Yeah, but not for anybody 56 and older. What we do is continue what Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan did in 1983. They went from 65 to 67. We're going to go from 67 to 70 using the same formula, 3 months a year. It's going to take decades. If you're born in 1970, that's the first group to retire at 70, so you have a long time to plan for it. But we're just going to keep doing what Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill did, and if you're above 56, it doesn't apply to you.
Now, out of the House, Senator Lee, they didn't touch Social Security, really. They didn't go over it with this retirement age thing, so they're also going to do something else. What do you get about people that don't need Social Security? You going to do some type of means testing?
Well, yeah, I think we need to look at the fact that everybody has a stake in this, and we have bought off more than we can handle in this issue, and so we have to look at the fact that people who are at the top end of the socioeconomic spectrum can stand to sacrifice a little bit in terms of the benefits they receive at the back end. What this enables us to do is to avoid raising taxes at a time when our economy is least able to absorb it.
And, you know, Senator Paul, Senator Reid, it must have been about a month ago where he said, leave Social Security alone, it is fine. Who's right?
Well, you know, Social Security is going to incur a $5.4 trillion debt over the next 75 years. There's a big hole in Social Security for 2 simple reasons. We're living longer, and the baby boomers are going to retire. These are facts, and Senator Reid can't, escape this. There is a big problem. Within about a decade, entitlements and interest will occupy the whole budget. There'll be nothing left for national defense, for protecting our country, unless we fix the entitlements. So he's dead wrong on that.
All right, Senator Graham, you know, one thing is leaking out about the president's remarks at George Washington University today. He is going to talk about the more fortunate people in our society, hence the rich, paying more in taxes. Is that a non-starter with you, or are you willing to compromise there?
No, I mean, we don't need to raise taxes because it costs people jobs. So anytime you raise tax rates, you make it harder to create a job in America. And quite frankly, people leave this country, then go to other countries to create jobs. So raising taxes is the wrong formula. Asking upper income Americans to give up some future Social Security benefits is a sacrifice that doesn't cost us jobs. And that's what we do. We're honest with people. The current system is based on false promises. We have 3 workers for every retiree today. In 20 years, we'll have 2. People are living a lot longer than they've ever lived before. That's the good news. We adjust the age like Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, and we asked upper-income Americans to give up some future benefits, but we don't raise taxes because that costs jobs.
Now, just to keep it straight for everyone, we have the continuing resolution. Well, that's passed. You're going to vote on it this week. And now we have the big debate on the debt ceiling. What do Republicans want a response for permission to raise the debt ceiling? The third one is the 2012 budget. Senator Lee, where do you want to see this Social Security reform put into play? At what part of what bite of the apple?
You know, this is a long-term problem. This doesn't have to be inserted in connection with the continuing resolution or in connection with the debt ceiling. This is nonetheless something we need to address sometime this year. I don't care so much exactly when it gets inserted into the debate, just as long as it's sometime within the next few months.
You know, Senator Paul, we heard a lot about compromise. Speaker Boehner was in studio and said, look, not everybody's happy on the left or the right. Do you think you have to learn to compromise a little, and other Tea Party caucus members, about where we go from here, because no one party or one segment controls the branches of government?
Yeah, but I think the compromise is on where we cut spending, not where we raise taxes. I think it's a big mistake. We're still in a very tenuous economy. It's a very big mistake to raise taxes. And if the president comes out today and says, look, we're going to raise taxes on the job creators, those who do have some money, they're the ones who create the jobs. So I think it's a big mistake to raise taxes. But I think Senator Graham is right that to fix the entitlement programs, those who do make more money can give up some benefits on the receiving end.
And how would you feel about something that Congressman Ryan put forward that the president basically has said is a non-starter, and that's the block grants from for these states and these governors to have in terms of paying out Medicaid, Senator Graham? Does that seem to work for you over in South Carolina and elsewhere?
Yeah, I'll tell you what doesn't work in South Carolina, Obama health care. You would expand Medicaid eligibility in South Carolina under Obama health care to 29% of the population being eligible, a $1 billion increase in matching requirement for South Carolina. It'd bankrupt my state. Yes, I'd like to get the money back to where the people live, let governors devise programs that work in South Carolina, may be different than California. I think it's a great idea, and it's a good way to get health care to where people live.
And finally, I know you, Senator Paul and Senator Lee, you both have been fiscally, that's your focus, on reining in the debt and controlling the deficit. Senator Lee, are you concerned about stopping the recovery by cutting too much?
No, I'm concerned that if we don't cut enough, that we won't have a recovery. Look, at the rate that we're acquiring new debt, on top of the existing debt that we now have, we're killing jobs. We're killing what many economists estimate to be as much as 1 million jobs every single year. We have got to stop doing that.
All right, Senator Lee, Senator Paul, Senator Graham, you're going to have a big press conference at 11. You're going to go expand on the details that you laid out for us exclusively here on Fox and Friends. For that, I thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Meanwhile,